In this tutorial, we will show you how to work with image-based objects and introduce a new object type, area. We will use the script from our previous lesson to which we have added the login process. If you are not sure how to do this, please check out our first lesson to learn how to log into the demo website and make sure the browser opens the login page instead of the booking page. In the previous lesson, we have shown how to work with combo boxes using the list object. But if you launch the script on Internet Explorer, you will notice that the combo boxes obscure the label which we use to detect the object. So here we will learn a different way to automate the combo boxes, which adds support for Internet Explorer and makes the script cross-browser. We have used the type method multiple times. But what exactly does it do? The type method clicks on the object, cleans the text inside of it, and then types the new text into it. Let's look at the three parameters of this method: text for typing, time delay between each character typed, and Boolean, which when set to true, erases the field. So if we disable erasing the field, we can click on the combo box, type some text, and press the Enter key. This combination will select the item in our combo box and will work on all browsers. However, we might find that some applications do not support such input type. Let's try it. First, remove the code which uses the list object. Then, change the click command of our combo box objects to type. Lastly, provide the item text and disable the erasing of the field. Don't forget to set the delay between typing parameter to its default value. We can find it in the tooltip information. Now we have a big script with the login process. If we want to check only part of our script, we can use the special Run from this line feature. To do that, perform a right mouse click on the line of code where you want to start the execution, and select Run from this line in the menu. ZAPTEST will skip the code prior to this line and will execute the remaining of the script. So, ZAPTEST selected the correct destinations. Next in this lesson, we will select the first Monday of the next month. First, we should click on the Next Month button in the Date Picker control. Open Book Date view in the workbench. Notice that the Next Month button doesn't have any text. So, for this case, we can use the image-based recognition type. Click Add New Object, type the name Next, and leave the text field empty. This way, ZAPTEST will use image detection algorithms. When we use image-based objects, we should pay attention to the object rectangle, color, and shape, because ZAPTEST will crop this image into our object repository and try to find it in the application under Test during runtime. So let's select the Next Month button with some area around it to improve recognition. Otherwise, when the defined image is too small, it might match other similar objects on the page. Also, in the Extended Object Properties panel on the workbench, change the precision to high and make sure that the recognition type is set to image. That's it. Now we can save and close our workbench. Add this object to our code and select Click Method. Now let's select the date. Let's say we want to select the first Monday of the month. How can we do that? The table object has two methods for that. The first is to retrieve the cell text, and the other is to click on a specific cell when we provide it with the row and column numbers. Let's find the row and the column of the first Monday in the table. Start by defining two variables, row and call. If the first Monday is located at the first week, then it should have a row value of 1 and a call value of 2. In the next line, we will read the text of this cell and check if it is indeed the first Monday of this month. The method getCellText returns the cell data string. Now to use it in a conditional statement, we should first convert the string into an integer. And Visual Basic has a special function for that, Cint. Then we check. If the number of the day is higher than 10, it means that the first Monday is located on the second row, and we should set the row value to 2. Now we should click on this cell using the click cell method by providing the row and column numbers. Let's check it. ZAPTEST has selected the 5th of December, which is the first Monday of that month. The last thing which we are going to do in the test script is book the flight and check the confirmation message. Let's open the workbench and scan the page with the flight results. Rename the view and remove all the objects except the flight names, the book button, and the confirmation message. Then update the names of these objects. In the extended properties, notice that ZAPTEST has set the appearance property to order with a value of 2, because there are 2 similar buttons on this page. It means that ZAPTEST will find all matching objects and then select the second match. We don't need it in this case because in a few moments we are going to learn how to define a search area in which this button will appear only once. So let's change this property to Best Match. We should also improve the recognition of the flight number object. Select the object and open the Extended Object Properties and set the text color to white. So, if there are 2 flights from New York to Boston, then how do we click on the corresponding book button of a specific flight number? ZAPTEST has a special object type, Area. Instead of looking for an object, like our Book the Flight button in the entire page, Area object crops the view and lets us find objects in the cropped area. Let's see how it works. Add a new object, set the name to Flight Area, and then set the object type to Area. Now, let's resize and position this area next to the flight number object and relate it as its child. This way, ZAPTEST will dynamically move this object area to the right side of the specific flight number. Then, we tell ZAPTEST to search for the book button inside this area. It's easy. We set the parent object for our book button to the flight area. That's it. Now when ZAPTEST looks for the book button object, it will find the flight number object, crop this area, and try to find our button inside of it. So if we want to book another flight number, we should be able to do so just by updating the text property of the flight number object, and we can do it here or programmatically in the script. Let's save the workbench and close it. Add flight property to the database, and set the flight number to BS101. Now we should set the text property of our flight number object. We've already learned how to do that in the previous lessons simply by using the setProperty method. We can now click on the book button. ZAPTEST will click exactly on the button which appears at the right side of the flight number text. Let's check the confirmation message. We should declare a new variable in which we combine the dynamic message with the flight number from the data table. Then we also update the text property and use the exist method to check that our flight is booked. That's it. Let's check our script and check that everything works as expected. ZAPTEST will log into the system, select the parameters, click the search button, and then book the flight. Thank you for using ZAPTEST.